How you doing, dude?
Doing great, man.
We're here at this hackathon that you put on at the Microsoft Redmond Reactor. And how many teams do we have? Like 15, 20?
I have no idea. There's 110 people here today. It's pretty big. Yeah.
And how long have you been putting on these events?
For myself, officially, this community has run since January of 2024. So this is our, it's February, so this is our 14th one.
14th one.
Yeah.
And I've seen you do events in SF, here, in Portland, or
New York.
New York. Dude, how's that journey been for you?
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work.
I can see. And for the folks that don't know you, Yujian, tell us a little bit about yourself, man, and what brought you to creating this community.
Sure. So I started off as a software engineer. Very early on, I started participating in these hackathons, programming contests when I was like 14, 15. I won a couple of these computer science contests, and that's how I got my first job at IBM. So I worked there from 18, and then I went to college, and I studied machine learning.
Wait, you were working at IBM at 16?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I worked there during high school, and I don't know if I had that much energy back then. I'd do work, and I had swimming 2 practices a day during the summer, and then I did a bunch of math contests. It was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, so then I studied machine learning, I published the papers, I came here, I worked on the AutoML team here at Amazon. I was there, I built a few projects, I led a couple projects, and then I was kind of like, hey, what would be interesting to do is do some startups. And my first startup was a total disaster, and my second startup was somewhat related to what I'm doing now. So my second startup was a natural language processing API, so it's AI-related text processing API kind of tool. And there was a few things that I kind of ran into while doing that. One was that I had no idea who I should talk to get people to try it out. I had no idea who I should talk to raise money. I had no idea who I should talk to sell the product. And that product was okay. I did end up basically just doing online advertising and online marketing and getting some people to buy. But then from there, I shut that down when in early 2023, basically ChatGPT came out, and I was decided to go do something else.
Yeah.
And that led me into doing more community stuff. So I started doing some community events in 2022, dev community stuff. And then I started my own dev community in 2024 because I worked at a company called Zillis. It was a vector database company. And I helped them build their community from 16 to 5,000 in a year. Mm-hmm. And during that time, I found that I really like doing events. I really like people. I really like devs. I really like the energy. I really like that when you do these events and you talk about technology, or you get a chance to do hands-on activities like today's hackathon, where you get to talk about technology. You get to interact with the people who are working on the cutting edge. You get to, hey, what's going on here? You get to learn a lot from that. And I think that's what a lot of developers like, and that's why they come to these events. And I think for me, that was something that I looked for a lot, that I didn't find a lot of. And so I was like, well, maybe I'll just do it.
Yeah.
And I took that and I combined that with what I ran into with startups, which was I don't know who to talk to about startups either. And since I worked with a startup, I was dev, and I had experience doing dev community, I started my own. And I was like, hey, what the advantage of being a third party is that you can have a ton of different perspectives. Because if you're working at a company, you pretty much your speaker set is limited to, or your topic set is basically limited to what's related to that company. But if you're a third party, you can do a ton of different things.
Yeah.
And then it also just happens that AI is popular right now.
Yeah.
So it's grown a lot. We grew from 0 to almost 7,000 last year. We had 11,000 people come attend our events. And then because of that kind of growth, ended up having a lot more work cut out for me, so I left my day job to pursue doing this full time. And then I started putting on a conference. You've probably seen me post about this on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm always 24/7. I'm Seattle Startup Summit, Seattle Startup
Yeah,
Summit.
I've signed up for it.
Yeah.
Bought my tickets. Me and my wife were talking, and she was like, damn it, the tickets went up after time. So she was saying, get our tickets right now. So we got our tickets.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely,
really
man.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this event. We've got a ton of, I've basically just been I would show you my schedule, but it was literally I've had days where I'm literally like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. just like meetings.
Yeah.
It's just full. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang. But you gotta be kind of like on. There's no road really, but like
You gotta be in it.
you gotta be in it. Yeah, you gotta be doing stuff. You gotta be
Yeah.
calling people. You gotta be,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah, it's like it's been really fun.
Outstanding.
What's up?
Question. When we do a demo, can we present our phone full screen?
You'll have to attach it to a computer.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay, I can try that.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Field questions at hackathons is a pretty regular thing.
It's incredible, man, because building community can be difficult.
Yeah.
And what were some of, if you could look back on it now, what would you do different than knowing what you know now in building this community?
Yeah, I've got this question a couple times. I think the main thing is, gosh, I think if we go back all the way to when I first started looking at community building, I think I wouldn't say it has been perfect, but I went into this with some insights from things I messed up before. So when I was building community for Zillis, for the company I worked at, one of the first things we did was we tried to throw an event, and that event we tried to make it about the. Let me see. So this was something that they had done already, and then what I tried to do was change it up a little bit. They had tried to create a community around their product. Now, you can create a community around a product. It is possible. It's entirely possible. But usually, that happens after your product has a lot of users. If you want to get users onto your product, what you do is you build a community around a problem. And then those people who have that problem will come and they'll see that you have built a solution to that problem, and then they'll use your product. What they had done was the opposite. And so I was like, okay, well, this is something that I see that has been done. And I tried to do that when I was building my startup, and so I know that you can't do that.
Yeah.
That was one thing. And then the other thing was location. So you need a location, an event space. So I'm very lucky that Microsoft Reactor has this event space, and then we can use this event space, right? And it's in a place that's not too far. It's reachable, right? So if you live in Seattle, it's not as easy to get here, but there is the light rail, and there are buses and things like that. That's nice. And when I had tried to do an event in San Mateo, which is in California, it's in the peninsula, there's a train station nearby, but it's 45 minutes from San Francisco. It's 45 minutes it's probably like an hour from San Jose. Nobody wants to go there. We had tons of people sign up. They're interested, but then like when the day came, they were like,
The actual logistics.
yeah, the logistics. So there's two things in getting people to come to events. One is the why. You got to give them a reason they want to come. And the second is the how. So if you make the how really hard, unless you have an incredibly like persuasive reason why they should come, they probably won't go. And so that was one thing that I learned. That was something that I had messed up. And so what we did after that was I found a space. I think the other thing is like, at the beginning, I felt more friction about talking about what I was doing. And this is a problem that I still have. I was talking with some of the committee that's helping me organize Seattle Startup Summit, and I was like,
Okay.
they were like, you need to talk about your problem, your story, your personal reason why you're doing this. And I was like, but why does that matter? And this is, I think I'm not as good at talking about myself as I am talking about, hey, here's why you should come to this event. You should come to this event because you'll get to meet tons of interesting people. Like 30-40% of the people who come to this event are like an executive or something like that. Things like that are like, I find to be persuasive, but some people are like, hey, you need to think how to tell your story too.
Yeah.
That's something I'm working on still.
Seems like you're doing a good job now.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it in the last week because people keep telling me I need to do it. You need to do this. And I'm like, okay, I'll figure it out.
It's like what I'm hearing from you, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that you identified a problem, and that problem was one being around people who wanted to use this technology, and then being able to have something that was regular enough where I wasn't dependent on oh, this is what Amazon is providing. Oh, this is what Adobe is providing. This is what Microsoft is providing.
Yeah.
This is what the developers
Yeah.
are able to create.
Yeah.
And allow for their creativity to flow. And being able to have that in one place where now people are saying, okay, I know that I can come here.
Yeah.
And if anything, I get to meet other cool people who are working on cool things.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. For me, the problem that I had was I spent 3 years trying to find a good developer that was not related to one of the big, just any company. You need support, you need financial support from companies or groups or organizations to do this kind of stuff. But you don't want to be. No one wants to be forced to use a specific product or a set of products. Right? You only know about what's available, and you can make the choice. I think it's like, for a lack of I don't have a better term for this, but like that's a very like quintessentially like American thing. It's like you want to be able to have that freedom of choice, and that's like a very like. I think that's like something that is missing a lot from like this ecosystem, and I think that's why it's important to have third parties that are more like able to give you access to all these different things.
Because how would you know, right? How would you know? I was just at Oracle AI bootcamp, and I didn't realize all the tools that Oracle had available for developers, low code platforms and things like that. For somebody that's trying to build an MVP, how helpful. And so to come to an event like this, I was trying to get here earlier, but I had to be on the. But you're in it.
I'm in it. I use it every so often, so they sponsor our events. They're very helpful. I think like a lot of the open source companies or like companies that are like these startups, they provide like a lot of like free educational resources. Even if you don't end up like using their products in production, it's really good to just like check it out and see like, here's what this is, here's what it does, here's how it can be helpful. And then if you use it and you're like, I don't want to use it, you don't use it.
Yeah.
It's free, it's nice. I like that about the open source ecosystem is that it gives you that ability to just check things out.
Yeah. Are you using any open source tools right now for what you're building with this community?
For the community?
Yeah.
No, I'm just on Lua. But I got, I was working with someone I met at one of these hackathons to build an agent that will do things that will be more like, that will use more like source stuff. So we don't know if we're going to use Llama Index or LangChain or whatever, whatever exists, but we're building it on like the open source framework.
Okay.
Very likely it's going to be an open source project as well.
Okay, outstanding. Are there any resources that those that are interested in what you're doing, is there any particular place that people can go to find those resources?
People are interested in what we're doing. People want to come and join these hackathons and join the other events that we're doing. Luma, or find me on LinkedIn. So our Luma is Luma/OSS4, the number 4.
Yeah. Thank you, Yujian, man. I appreciate you, dude.
Yeah.
It's been great catching up with you and great being here. There's no energy like startup energy and no energy like dev energy. So yeah.
Thanks for taking the time to come out. I'm glad you came and hung out.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate you, dude. Thanks, man.